far as the categories, did you like early on, what categories did you offer? And then I believe you're focused more on creative now, right? And then how did that kind of
Yeah.
evolve maybe?
Yeah, that was an interesting evolution. We were doing a little bit of everything up until 2019, and we sort of organically evolved to have expertise in creative. And when I started, I was actually pushing us to do more in business and tech. There are other platforms out there that are more horizontal, do a little bit of everything, that are a la carte. And yeah, I think that's another just sort of important business model differentiator. A la carte content versus subscription content. There's a reason why iTunes at $1.29 per song is dead, and Spotify is a public company, and you have Apple Music and Google Play, right? We've just been conditioned to consume content via subscription. So a la carte content businesses, it's just a shitty business, right? So if you could put the two of us side by side, if we can reach content parity and we can get the same depth in business and tech, why would you ever pay somebody else $10, $20, $30 a class when you can subscribe to us and get all of them? What we underestimated, it's really hard to get content parity, because we had evolved over time to be really strong in these creative verticals. So when you think about these marketplaces, you're not one monolithic marketplace. You're a bunch of vertical marketplaces that happen to be stuck together. And so because of our strength in creative, when we launched into business, anything that was adjacent to creative did really well. Marketing, anything sort of design thinking, design strategy, brand strategy, that stuff did well because there were plenty of creatives who wanted to bleed over into that skill, front end tech skills. CSS, it's just a good thing for a designer to know. If we try to jump too far into finance and accounting or data science, there's crickets chirping. Teachers weren't making any money. Nobody was watching the content. There wasn't a lot of content to watch. Everybody's pissed. So if we had people coming in looking to learn data science, we had enough to convert them. We didn't have enough to retain them. And they left annoyed. And so in 2019, we had our sort of mid-year offsite, and we just said, let's call it, let's take yes for an answer. And where we're getting a yes is in creative. And we went back and we did all the research on how big is the market. There are 5 billion people in the world who have a creative profession or a creative hobby. You look at Adobe, Shutterstock, Etsy, there are lots of public companies focused on the creative market. Adobe's market is 30 to 40% of our addressable market, right? So if they can build Adobe on that market, we damn sure can build a big global public company on it. So, as we got focused on that, and then you always have the angst of like, well, but what about data science? It's like, it just, yeah, you can, it doesn't mean you should. So it was hard to walk away from, and this is sort of classic startup conundrum. Do you walk away from what could be to focus on what is and what you're really excellent at? And it's just amazing how much tighter the business, the product, the content, the messaging, everything got once we focused in on that creative vertical. And now, sure, there are plenty of marketplaces out there, content, learning platforms that are bigger than we are. There's not a single one that can go toe to toe with us on creative. We'll beat them every single time. So, it's sort of the fox versus the hedgehog strategy. Like we went hedgehog, and I think it has definitely paid off.